Welcome back to CEO Agenda, and with me still is the CEO of Krungsri Ayutthaya Bank, and that is, of course, Mrs. Janice Van Ekeran. I just wanted to ask you a little bit in continuation what we were talking about just like before we took the break. You were talking about how you're reaching out to the grassroots people and providing easy access loans. How do you do that though, but at the same time, make a balance between, those who may not have enough of a background in financing and being responsible?
Yeah, I think it really is a good opportunity for us, and it's a segment that's very much underserved in Thailand. With us, we actually start out small. So we go out, for example, in the wet markets, and we work with getting to know you. It's all about relationship lending, neighborhood lending. So it's getting to know our customers, starting out small, understanding what their business is. If you go and talk to one of our stall owners about what their cash flows are, they'll look at you with a puzzled face. But if you talk to them about what product do you sell, how many do you sell a day, what do you need to buy to make that product, and you actually start going through a business model of how they work, and from that you can actually derive a cash flow model. And so it's very simple and straightforward. We actually look at lending at what they need to provide the daily needs for their business. And so it starts out small.
What kind of tools or resources do you use this? Because it sounds like a very big and detailed project.
Actually, it's very grassroots. It's no more than you and I sitting down and just talking about what do you do every day? How do you make your living? And understanding what the flows are in and out. Today, many of those suppliers are going to the gray markets, informal lending. And so what we're really trying to do is bring responsible lending into that segment. And so it's very transparent. We actually use electronic data capture machines. We use people's Thai ID, so that we can capture your, and prove your identity. Many of these people don't have national credit bureaus. So it very much is based on getting to know you, relationship. Our teams are in, for example, the wet market every day. They're coming through and they're talking with the stall owners. And that's our opportunity actually to offer them loans. What we've actually found is that by using responsible lending methods, their cash flows improve dramatically. We have many success stories now we've been building on with fruit market owners that have been able to expand in terms of offering more exotic fruits or offering gift baskets, developing into smoothies. So they can expand what their actual business model is. They have more cash flow, and that's great because it helps them in terms of supporting their family.
About how much has the feedback been? How many people have you,
Well, as I mentioned, we have actually gone now to over 240 branches. Our aspiration this year is to be over 300. We've grown our assets from 1.2 billion baht up to pushing almost 7 billion baht now, and we've done that in just 3 years. So if you look at the numbers of our customers have actually gone up quite dramatically. What's key for us, and what's been a big learning, is as we've brought responsible lending, reasonable interest rates into the market, people are paying off their loans faster. We've actually identified another opening in the market, is that we have an opportunity from a CSR perspective to teach people on financial literacy. So we're moving into that area now as a way to add value to the communities as well. So not just from providing reasonably priced funds, but then providing financial information, training them on how they can invest or leverage their money going forward. And so we've actually found that one small business opportunity now is growing into a much bigger business opportunity for us. It's good for us, it's good for our customers, and it's good for the community.
Talking about expanding, let's talk about ASEAN, the AEC. It's coming in 2015, of course. Myanmar is opening. Where does the bank see itself in positioning in this region? Are you going to be targeting certain markets, and why?
Certainly AEC in and of itself is a huge opportunity for Thailand. Thailand has so many core strengths that this is going to be a big chance, I think, for the businesses in Thailand to expand. As we look at us, particularly from a banking perspective, our expectations are a bit more modest. There are a lot of big banks in ASEAN already, so we're not looking to go head to head with the big guys. We're looking at actually contributing in the ways we've been talking about before with the smaller loans. So for us, with Myanmar opening up, we're in the process of setting up a red office rep office there. We'll be looking at how we can partner locally, particularly to provide services to our Thai customers going forward. We're looking at, in Laos, we have 2 branches today. We're expanding our branch network going forward. The very interesting part about Laos is that it is not only neighbors with Thailand, but it's also very close to Thailand. So as we look at opportunities, for example, with our Krunsiato brand, Car for Cash, and Sisawad, our microfinance brand, those are brands because of the closeness and the availability of Thai television in Laos, they're already familiar with our brands. So it's very easy in terms of expansion because they're already familiar with the brand. We're not starting from scratch. So we can go in and add value immediately to the community from that perspective in terms of being able to offer innovative products to the marketplace.
What are your main concerns in entering a market that is, kind of mysterious, we could say, such as Myanmar?
Yes.
That's always the topic for everyone to think about and wonder. What are the main challenges?
You're absolutely right, because we don't have the legal structure there that we do in Thailand. So we're very accustomed being in Thailand. There's rules and regulations. It's very well laid out. And everyone knows as you go to develop new products or move into new segments what expectations are. In the case of Myanmar, it clearly is not there yet today. So it really is all about getting to know our neighbors. It's getting to know the people on the ground and what the development opportunities are. There's tremendous opportunity, for example, for power, and we certainly have a great opportunity with our experience in that segment to be able to provide funding going forward. Many of our customers are looking at expanding into Myanmar. We actually have a team this week that's up there.
But it's still going to take a long time.
It's going to take a long time.
Probably like years. Not in time for the AEC?
No, it will take much longer time because it's going to take a longer time. For example, in banking, foreign banks cannot come in directly to Myanmar today. So it's going to take a little bit more time for that to develop. Having said that, if you look 3 years ago and would have said we would be where we are today with Myanmar, no one would have guessed that we would have moved so quickly. So it is going to move forward quickly, I think, but it's still going to take time.
Well, let's talk about something that is moving very quickly, and that is the hot funds that are flowing into this region. Obviously, there's a lot of concerns. Latest Fitch ratings had, of course, increased the status of Thailand to being stabilized, but then they also said that they're worried about the economy overheating. They're worried about certain factors. Is there something to be worried about?
I'm not so sure that maybe worried's the right word. I think, certainly there's a lot of opportunity in Thailand. As the region has been growing, in Thailand over the last 6-7 years, we've been going through cycles. And so we've had kind of a natural resetting of the economy. And we keep coming back. So we haven't had this overheating 6-year run that some of the other economies may have had. And so I think that positions us, we've got more room to run, so to speak, as we go forward. So I'm not particularly worried about that. I think that Thailand has been an area that people have been wanting to come into for some time. Certainly when I go around for investor relations meetings, both in the region and in the US and in Europe, people love Thailand. People want to come to Thailand. The challenge is how do they find the right opportunities to invest? And I think as we've seen, the economy continue to develop, interest rates here currently are certainly, if you compare to the U.S., it's becoming a much more attractive investment from that standpoint. So I think really we're seeing a fair bit of pent-up demand that's just coming into the market now. I don't think it's really hot money. I think you're going to see a lot of it stick because, as I said, people really do want to be in Thailand.
It's not just our beaches, right, that they're attracted.
Exactly. That's part of it, but it goes much farther than that.
But let's talk about the strengthening of the Thai baht, the strongest it's ever been, 29 baht, 14 satang to the US dollar. Of course, there are a lot of worries about this. What do you expect for the future for the Thai baht? And what should we do, as a country? I mean,
part of it,
big question,
we're a victim of our own success, right? So as the economy grows stronger and with all the key fundamentals, it's natural that the baht's going to continue to appreciate. And I think you've seen that steadily going on. Recently, certainly, it's spiked up faster than people were expecting. But as we look longer term, we do continue and expect that the baht's going to continue to appreciate slowly. I don't think right now at 29, 29.5. There's going to be a big systemic risk to our economy. Certainly we're working very closely with our SMEs, particularly those that are heavy into export, to make sure that they are working through this. We're providing training in terms of treasury tools that they can use to help support them and make sure they're okay on that front. But it also, on the other hand, represents a great opportunity for Thai companies as well to go abroad. Traditionally, Thai companies have stayed closer to home. In recent years, you've seen many of our very strong corporates start to expand out and make acquisitions around the world. And so I think that's going to support that as well going
Do you
forward.
think it's going to get stronger, and at what point do you think it's going to be at?
Yeah, I think, as we look at it from our economist standpoint, we're looking at 29 being a reasonable level. That said, as we go forward over the next year, I think you're looking at more in the 28.5 to 29 range.
Okay, well, let's just talk about it. The BOT, the Bank of Thailand, and of course the Finance Ministry. I'm not asking you to take sides, but just do you think that there is going to be a change? It's at some point that there will be something that needs to be done about the appreciation?
Well, let's see. I don't think we're there yet. I think the great news is that everyone really is watching very closely to see where things move. The Bank of Thailand certainly over the recent years has been very prudent in terms of managing and watching. They've been very responsive in terms of concerns they've seen. Certainly when there was a concern about a potential bubble developing in the condominium market, they took very quick steps to raise the capital requirements for banks for certain segments of that to make sure that it was managed. I think, again, with the Ministry of Finance, same thing. Everyone's very focused on how do we ensure the stability of the Thai economy longer term. Not surprising that there's a difference of opinion sometime on how we get there, but I'm confident that we're going to continue to move forward, and there's a lot of promise and room to grow in Thailand today.
Well, we've run out of time, but before we go, I have to ask you the ultimate question. As of course, as a CEO, what is your advice, or what is the secret to the success that that you've come so far and attained? Sounds so grand.
No, I think it is grand, but it's really actually important, and it is very simple. Ultimately, you have to find something that you really enjoy doing, because for me, I work very long hours, but when you wake up, you want to say, yes, I'm going to jump out of bed and this is what I'm going to be doing. And for me, I know bankers have been much maligned as to the value that can be construed banking can add, but for me, being a banker is all about helping our customers. We spent a little bit of time and talked about our microfinance business. And for me, that's what banking is really all about. It's about helping people, and it's about helping their dreams come true.
Wow, and I think that is where we're going to end it. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
a
you.
true enlightening experience, and I'm not being, over the board about this. It's very true. That is very significant indeed in what you're doing, and we can see it grow, and we're going to be very excited indeed to see how it goes later on for you. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much, Khop Khun Ka. And that is CEO Agenda for today. Of course, you can stay tuned for more here on Krungthep Cricket TV.